What's up guys, welcome back. TCG Metagame breakdown for early September 2019. Again, like once a week, new TCG format. Again, keep upgrading this one since the format is so diverse. Decks keep popping up, techs keep popping up, and it's quite interesting. So let's take a look, right? A couple of tournaments, well, a lot of tournaments actually past weekend. A lot of deck lists are popping up on Facebook and other social media. So let's take a look again. All the sources will be in the video description like always, right? The first tournament here being the Pro Play Tour from Pro Play Games indeed. This is the metagame breakdown again from Carloncho's store again. Perfect deck picture, everything very clear. And the first thing, of course, that's that's like boom, right in your face is of course Orcust. Orcust seems to, and that's something we have seen past couple of weeks, is that it's rising. At least more and more people are topping, of course, with Orcust, and it seems to be, or like, how do you say it in English, like becoming the best deck actually from the format, even though this particular tournament wasn't won by Orcust. But again, Orcust in this tournament, about 1/3 of the Orcust players here, from the top cut. The top 16. So yeah, anyway, let's take a look at the first place deck list being Sky Strikers. Nothing too spectacular, I guess. Well, the Ghost Bells in the main deck, of course, with the Cyclones as well. But outside of that, looking at the tin promo, since that's quite new, quote-unquote new. Side decking the triple Nibiru, that seems quite staple for most deck lists actually, and also side decking triple evenly matched, not to forget. Second place, you have a familiar name featuring the Pendulums, or Pendulum players being Jeremy Mitchell, ending up second place with Endymions this time. And I believe one of his staple cards, at least every time I see him topping with Pendulums, is with Avian as well in the main deck. Pretty much a staple card, I guess. Side decking the triple Necro Valley, and from the new tin promos, only siding the, the Dark Ruler no more indeed. The continuous, or the spell, not continuous, but the spell card. You know which one I mean. So that's cool. Pendulums still are very strong, especially against Nibiru, for example. Since you can play around that. Anyway, second list, already another list. Third place, we have Orcust again, but with Luna Lights. Again, Luna Lights is something not to underestimate. It's such a crazy archetype if you think about it. So many cards are not once per turn. They have a once per turn, well, at least they have a once per turn Zephyros, which is not once per duel. The multiple dangers as well. And then I'm looking at their Monster Reborn card. I'm not too familiar with the Luna Light names, but the pendulum that reborn something, not once per turn. Crazy stuff. It keeps fueling your Orcust engine, right? So definitely one of the best decks in today's format. Very strong grind games as well, but Luna Light Orcust in general is still one of the best decks, if not the best deck in theory. Another list here being Salmon Grades keeps popping up. A deck, as I mentioned before last week, is that I personally underestimated. It's still going very strong, even though it got, the huge hit from our most recent TCG ban list being Circle to 1 and Gazelle to 1. But this seems like a very staple list. Well, there are multiple Salmon Grade lists coming, but we see the triple Nibiru in the side deck with the triple Mind Control as well, double Evenly, and the double Dark Ruler no more. So looking at the tin promos, right, still no Dimension Shifter, but I have a list ready that's actually main decking that one within the next couple of moments, but Salmon Grades. And then next up, still top 8 if I'm not mistaken, Sky Strikers. Nothing too spectacular, main decking the triple Galaxy Cyclone, side decking the triple Nibiru, and that's pretty much it. At least I'm looking at the new cards, Nibiru. Then we have Orcust as well with the small 10E package and the instant fusion also, but no Winda this time. Personally, I would, like Winda in the extra deck as well, as an extra instant fusion target or some protection for Nibiru, what's it called? Your Dingrisu protected during the end phase. As looking at the tin promo copies, we see the Dark Ruler no more in the extra deck, and Ably as well. Ably, just give your opponent the Ably after your Orcust combo, or during your Orcust combo, prevents them from Nibiru. No, it's not a word, but from using Nibiru against you, and prevent your combo from going through. A lot of hand traps, again, like always. Then, like one of the, I can't really call it a new strategy, but it's a deck that keeps well, it's definitely on the rise, and there are more lists awaiting here. Cyber Dragon Orcust, we've seen Blair Hunter topping, and I believe ending up first place back-to-back like last week and this week, or yeah, you know, 2 weekends ago and last weekend, or most recent weekend, back-to-back first place with Cyber Dragon Orcust. So it's definitely a deck that's on the rise, and keep an eye out for it. It's definitely a very strong deck, but more lists coming really soon. Triple Nibiru, triple, you know, Dark Ruler, no more in the extra deck. We see Subterrors again next to Altergeist. No Altergeist decks this time, but it's either Altergeist or Subterrors. Thanks to the new Tim promos, people, you know, like trying these decks, are picking these decks over the other heavy combo-oriented decks, right? Even though the impact of the Tin promos is not that high, people still prefer running the combo-oriented decks, but again, they seem like pretty much side deck staple in most decks, that is. Then top 16, this deck caught my attention. It's of course a burn deck, Mystic Mind Burn, but it's playing the DD Guide. I'm not really sure if it's really of an old card, but you know, DD Guide, I believe its effect is like when you normal summon it or summon it, give control during to your opponent. So it's basically like a creature swap built-in effect. You give your opponent a monster, something for Mystic Mind. The first turn Mystic Mind Prohibition as well in the main deck, but I believe Simo has a live profile from this guy up on his channel, so feel free to check that one out. But Triple Judgment for some extra protection, but again, Mystic Mind, right? It's still that ridiculous of a card. Prevent your opponent from playing the game, right? That's how it is. We see Thunders going back and forth. I like the Thunder list here again. Pure Thunders, it's you know, more popular, right? Compared to a couple of months ago, Thunders with the Guard Dragons, but nope. Now it's Pure Thunders main decking the Paleozoic Trap, the quote-unquote, you know, what is it, the Raigeki Braid that banishes, you know which one I mean. The names, I'm getting too old. Anyway, so Thunders, I like the Pure Thunder list more. Then, as for the rest, I think we still have one list. Yeah, indeed, the second Thunder list here, what I was talking about a little bit earlier. This particular list ended up top 16 by David Prue, I believe the name is. And he decided to make the Dimension Shifter. Again, the quote-unquote Macrocosmos, I guess, with somewhat of a big restriction. But it's quite interesting, him main-decking this card might, you know, catch some people by surprise, and that's of course the biggest advantage, I guess, since from the 3 Tin promos, this new card, the Dimension Shifter, is the less popular one. And then last, being True Dracos. It's everywhere from the top list. There is always like 1 or 2 True Draco players, but nothing, well, it's True Dracos, right? Nothing too spectacular. The Monarch card that gives you the extra tribute summon, I believe, the triple card and mice, etc. So that's pretty much it for the PBG Tour. The next tournament here being from Yugioh Illuminati, I believe the name was from, yeah, indeed, from Facebook. Again, link will be in the video description. The regional here from indeed Bolivia. First place, Luna Light Orcust. Some small differences between the list, you know, I've shown before a couple of moments ago, but again, very strong list. Built-in Monster Reborn, a Searcher as well. If you know you Foolish Burialed their Monster Reborn card, it's just a crazy deck, right? They can put Azathoth as their 4th summon as well. But although I believe most Luna Light Orcust builds I've seen are not running the what is it called, Nyrla Azathoth combo. Again, 2 spaces in the extra deck, which maybe are needed for other spots, I guess. Second place, we have Subterrors, but again, Subterrors have a heavily anti-meta oriented. We see Salamangreats as well, with the small danger package, as we have seen from YSS Portland 2 weeks ago, side-decking the triple Nibiru as well and the Sea Archiver. So very similar list to Portland. Again, Salamangreats top 8, indeed, yeah, top 8, 4th place, but yeah, okay, well, it's running the will of the Salamangreat, you know, the Monster Reborn at 3, a lot of traps. So this is one of those Salamangreat lists that definitely likes to run or overdo here with those traps. Pendulums as well, of course, always at 1 Pendulum player. That's cool. I mean, it's still a very strong list, but weak to, you know, that side deck. Another Salad list here, nothing too spectacular. Sea Archiver as well in the main deck, Twin Twisters also. We see the 56 card Orcust deck. Again, it's you know, the standard list. Mystic Mine as well at 1 here in the main deck. Nibiru also here in the side deck, but Triple Ibli, of course. And last but not least, again, True Dracos. But yeah, that's how it is, right? Some extra lists that caught my attention here. Asian Persuasion, again, just like last week, he managed to top, I think, with a Cosmos. And this time he was very close, 9th place here with Spellbooks. Prophecies, his live profile is up on his channel. I'll leave a link in the video description. So 9th place, top 16, I guess. Right out of the top 8, but it was a regionals, I believe, with a little under 200 people, so that's respectable. Again, his live profile is up on his channel. Cyber Orcust, slim indeed. Again, we'll leave a link in the video description. Has like the tool list from at Deception and Calvin Shao here, the first place, a second place list from the San Jose regionals. Cyber Dragon Orcust. There are some small differences between Calvin's list and Ed's list, but again, you know, just feel free to pause the video here to get a glimpse of both these decks. But it's, as I mentioned before, a very strong list. They have the potential, if there are some plays, of getting the first to an Orcust combo, full Orcust combo with Cyber Dragon Infinity, not to forget. So again, very strong full Orcust combo, and ending with a Cyber Dragon Infinity negation. So again, feel free to look at the live profile up on Slim's channel. Dragon Link with Orcust, you know it's going wrong if Dragon Link players are main decking or slapping in the Orcust engine as well. But that's how it is, that's how strong Orcust is, and it should definitely get hit on our next TCG ban list as well. Some extra lists, we see Heroes. First place regionals as well, main decking the Triple Nibiru, of course, but again, Heroes, a very good list, but again, it's just weak to Disruption 2 hand traps. A well-timed hand trap like Ash Blossom can stop this deck in its tracks, but not to forget, it's still a very strong list. Dark Law is still a very strong card, not to underestimate. We see Invoked, also very strong, but again, very weak. Just, you know, prevent their search from going through with Alistair. He's also running the new BLS, well, the BLS link in the extra deck, right? So, okay, Alistair.deck, that's cool. And last but not least, we have Infernoids as well. No, a lot of differences between the Infernoid list from Vlad from the European Championship and this particular list. So, that's cool. The format is super diverse. I'm excited. And I believe the OCG will get their new list very soon. And their extra pack with the tin promos, Nibiru, etc. will be legal as well, I believe next week or this weekend, this upcoming weekend. Not sure about that, but that will be some interesting times as well. Okay, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching, and feel free to leave a comment or like if you enjoyed the video. YgoPro signing out. Peace.